You've seen it in movies, you've heard people say it, that we only use 10% of our brain's potential. Well, that idea is a complete myth. It's one of the biggest lies science never told. The truth is, you use pretty much all of your brain all the time. Brain scans show that even when you're just resting, your brain is firing on all cylinders. Simple tasks, like making a cup of coffee, light up huge areas of your brain. If the 10% myth were true, brain damage wouldn't be nearly as devastating as it is. So you don't have a secret 90% waiting to be unlocked. You're already using the supercomputer in your head at full capacity. You think you know what a vampire is, right? A charming, caped count with fangs? Well, the real-life vampires that started the legends were not like that at all. They were just dead bodies. See, hundreds of years ago, when a mysterious plague hit a village, people would get desperate for answers. They'd sometimes dig up the first person who died to see what was going on. But without modern science, the normal process of decomposition looked terrifying. The body would be bloated from gas, making it look well-fed. The gums would shrink, making teeth look longer. And purging fluid could look like fresh blood. To them, it was proof. This corpse was a monster, crawling out of the grave at night to feed on the living. So the most terrifying monster in history wasn't born from magic. It was born from a misunderstanding of basic biology. Ever waken up from a nightmare feeling like you couldn't move, with a heavy weight on your chest? Well, hundreds of years ago, people didn't think it was just a dream. They thought you were being attacked. The word nightmare actually comes from night and mare. But a mare wasn't a horse. In old folklore, it was a terrifying goblin or demon. This creature would sit on your chest and try to suffocate you, causing horrible visions. This myth was their explanation for what we now call sleep paralysis. The myth was so powerful that for centuries, people believed a demon was the cause of their bad dreams. So the word we use for a bad dream literally means night demon. Sleep tight. In the deepest, darkest part of the ocean, scientists recorded a sound that shouldn't exist. It was an ultra-low frequency noise, so powerful it was detected by sensors over 5,000 kilometers apart. They nicknamed it the bloop. The terrifying part? The sound's profile resembled a living creature, but it was far louder than the biggest blue whale. For years, the mystery grew. Was there a colossal, unknown monster lurking in the abyss? People imagined a real-life Cthulhu. But the real cause is almost scarier. The bloop is now believed to be the sound of a massive iceberg cracking and breaking apart. The sound of our planet's ancient ice dying. So the mystery was solved, but the truth is still chilling. What's the most ridiculous war in history? I'll give you a hint. The enemy wasn't human. In 1932, the nation of Australia officially declared war on emus. I'm not joking. It's called the Great Emu War. Over 20,000 emus were migrating and destroying farmland. So the military was called in. They sent soldiers armed with 2 heavy machine guns to solve the problem. But the emus were geniuses. They split into small groups, ran in unpredictable patterns, and were surprisingly tough. The soldiers just couldn't get a clean shot. After a month of chaos and thousands of wasted bullets, the military officially withdrew. The emus had won. So Australia, a country famous for its tough animals, once lost a war to a bunch of giant, flightless birds. What's the most contagious thing you can think of? A cold? The flu? How about a fit of the giggles? In 1962, a real-life laughter epidemic broke out in Tanzania. It started with just 3 girls at a school, but they couldn't stop laughing. Soon, their classmates started, then the whole school. The laughter was so intense, with some fits lasting for days, that they had to shut the school down. But when the students went home, they spread the illness to their families and villages. Over the next year, the epidemic affected thousands and forced 14 schools to close. Scientists call it mass psychogenic illness. But it's proof that sometimes the funniest joke is no joke at all. A real-life laughter epidemic that shut down a country. If you have a cat, you might have gotten a gift like this, a dead mouse or bird dropped at your feet. It feels a little creepy, right? Like a warning from the cat mafia. But what is your cat actually trying to tell you? It's not a threat. In a weird way, it's a sign of love. And it means one of two things. One, your cat thinks you're a terrible hunter. Seriously. It sees you as a clumsy member of its family who can't feed itself. So it's bringing you food and trying to teach you. It sees you as its family, and it's simply bringing its kill back to the den, your home, to share the meal. So it's not a threat, it's a compliment. Your cat just thinks you're a cute, incompetent kitten that would starve without it. You see these everywhere at the gym. A healthy way to get your steps in, right? Well, the original treadmill wasn't designed for your health. It was designed for punishment. In the 1800s, the treadmill was a brutal device used in British prisons. Prisoners were forced to walk on a giant spinning wheel for up to 10 hours a day. This wasn't for exercise, it was hard labor. Their endless stepping would power mills to grind grain or pump water. The grueling, monotonous work was meant to break their spirits. The practice was eventually abolished for being too cruel, but the idea was later reinvented as a fitness machine. So the next time you're on a treadmill, just remember, you're basically paying to use a Victorian torture device. When you think of a vampire, you probably picture this. But nature has a version that's way weirder. Meet the vampire finch. It's a real bird that lives in the Galapagos Islands, and yes, it actually drinks blood. During the dry season, when food is scarce, these small birds will hop onto the backs of larger seabirds, use their sharp beaks to peck a hole in the skin, and then drink the blood that flows out. The craziest part? The larger birds just let it happen. They barely even react. Scientists think it's because they have no other natural predators on the islands. So the next time you see a cute little bird, just remember, it might be a vampire in disguise. You're scrolling online and you see a puppy so cute you just want to squish it. Or a baby so adorable you want to pinch its little cheeks off. That weirdly aggressive feeling, does it make you a monster? Nope, it's just your brain. It's a real psychological phenomenon called cute aggression. When your brain sees something overwhelmingly cute, the emotion centers go into overdrive and get overloaded. To balance it out, your brain mixes in a dash of the opposite emotion, aggression. It's your brain's way of pumping the brakes. So the next time you want to smush a kitten, don't worry. It just means your brain thinks it's so cute. It literally can't even.